Hello, I'm Jo, and today I'm reviewing How to Keep a Husband for 10 Days. This one is by Jessica Hatch. Okay, guys, like I said, How to Keep a Husband for 10 Days by Jennifer Hatch. Big shout out to the publisher and Net Galley for sending me the free copy of this book. It was good. It was good, people. I ended up giving this one a 4-star. Okay, quite a solid 4-star, this one. It's a romance read. It's a little bit different than your usual, they meet, they fall in love, they get married and everything else. No, this one we start where they're actually married and getting a divorce and then it's, will they work out the differences and get back together and have a happily ever after, or will their happily ever after come after they get divorced? Okay, so this was slightly different as a read. Now, one of the reasons why I picked, the cover just spoke to me anyway. It's one of those covers that while you're scrolling, you just kind of stop and go like, oh yeah, that looks like a good romance read. But also because it has the 10 in it, and that gets me my 10 for the clock reading challenge. If you're not already signed up to do the clock reading challenge, you are welcome to join in at any point during the year. Okay, you don't have to start in January necessarily, because the goal is to read 12 books in 12 months. But there's no rule that says that you can't read all 12 in the same month. That's, if you are someone who, can read that much, then that's fine. That's totally cool. The idea is to build your clock. So even if you haven't joined in already, I will add the links for you so you can join in with that. I've also done another post about it with some ideas for books that you could do for each of the numbers. So you might want to check that one out as well. But the more the merrier. Join in, use the hashtag clock reading challenge and get chatting on social media and things as well. It's a fun, easy reading challenge and if you can join in if you want to. So anyway, back to the book that we're talking about. Okay, so in this one, we have Lina and Brown. They're a married couple who are going through, they've separated, they're going through divorce proceedings, and then the old building that they used to live in, which is where they met and where their friend group comes from, the building's being sold, and basically they want to save this building. Okay, they're not ready to tell their group of friends that they are getting divorced, and so they also, to not take away from the project of saving the building and having inexpensive housing in cities and things. There's a lot to talk about in it. This book would be good for a book club read, I think, because it does touch on arguments that don't come up that often in a romance read, like having affordable housing in cities and things like that. So yeah, there's lots to talk about in this one. But anyway, so they agree to pretend to still be married. So they're not letting on anything to any of the others whilst they're doing this project to save the building. Okay, so yeah, this also comes in because them being a couple, for the fact that they met and got married in the courtyard of this building, they become the symbol of saving the building. And so that adds extra pressure to this fact of pretending that everything's fine, they are happily married, or whatever. And then obviously various different feelings come into play. Lots of other things go on there, so I'm not going to go more into that because I don't want to give spoilers. But you can get an idea of the sort of feel for the book from here. Now, something else that I feel I should mention in this book is Freddie. Now, Freddie is a friend of theirs from the apartment building who uses the pronouns he and they, okay, particularly they, throughout the book. Now, at the very beginning, because I wasn't aware of this going into the book, so when I first saw them referenced as they, I was like, okay, I was like confused for a minute going into it, but then it was done so solidly throughout the book and plus Freddie was like a really good character, that after a while it just like became automatic, and it's like, yeah, okay, they're they. And it wasn't a big deal at all going through this. So I feel that's important to mention, just, for those of you out there that feel they want to use the pronoun they and things to see it represented in a fiction book as well, like this, then, I just feel I should mention it for you. You might enjoy this one and the representation that it has. So it's the first time I've come across, I believe, the first time that I've come across using the pronoun they for an individual like this in a romance read. And so, yeah, I feel I should mention that for you. But anyway, overall, this was a really good read, and it was nice because of the fact that it was a different kind of storyline to what you normally expect going into it. So anyway, there we go. That is today's review for you. Again, here is the cover, How to Keep a Husband for 10 Days. Okay, so pretending to be married isn't as easy as you think is the byline on that one. So check it out. Anyway, that is it for today. I am curious to know, my question for you today for in the comments is of other books that you know of where they use the pronoun they for character in the book. Feel free to leave a comment below and share in case there's other people watching this who are interested in finding books where they use the pronoun they. So jump in down there. Also, just like in general for everyone, is that something that you'd be okay with in fiction? When you're reading a book, is it okay for you that would it cause you, I'm not talking about like your own personal stance on whatever group you want to talk about here, but the fact of finding it confusing whilst reading the book. I hope I'm explaining myself. That's what we're going into. Okay, I don't want people to start hate chains or whatever in the comment section. That's not what this is about. So anyway, yes, thoughts about that, and also about the importance of representation in fiction. I am a strong believer that everyone deserves the right to be represented, and I have absolutely no problem with that at all. I find a little annoying when everything is very forced, but it's just because for me that kind of eliminates the purpose of doing it. It shouldn't be a underline, this is my political stance or my religious views or whatever, like through the thing. It should be an organic in the text. That is just the way it is. We are all people, and this is my viewpoint on it. Okay, so when it's done nice and organically into the text, I think that is perfect, and that is representation done right. So anyway, I thought this was done quite nicely for that. So if you are someone who is looking for that kind of thing, then and also if you're someone who doesn't like the having it forced down you, then this was just done nicely anyway. So anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!